Well, we're back at the shed, and we're going to get the tarp up here pretty quick. I just wanted to show you I spray foamed some of these cracks here, and this is the tarp I'm going to be using to cover the thing. Some people were concerned I was just going to go to like Home Depot or something and get a crappy blue tarp, but that's not the case. I'm using these old billboard tarps. This one's actually a Budweiser tarp. This is a piece I have left from when I did the inside of the garage. But this stuff is really thick, UV resistant vinyl stuff. It'll last a long time. I've had the stuff up in my garage for many years, and probably won't last quite as long outside, but I think it'll be fine. I've had the stuff in the garage up for years, and I haven't had a single rip or tear or anything in it, so it's doing quite well. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't pick this up and somehow get it up there by myself in the wind and nail her down. Well, there we go. The tarp is up. Not super tight, but you gotta cut me a little slack. I am working by myself on a windy day. But I got it up. I think I'm gonna let it hang for a day or two, kind of let it sag down, and then I'll cut the doorway out and get that all ready to go. Tack it all the way around the door here. And I think before I do all that, I'm going to take and put some grommets in this tarp and bungee it back to the thing so the wind doesn't grab it and rip all my nails out. I'm using these nails with the little plastic washers on them to hold it down. So I'm going to knock some grommets in it and go ahead and use some bungees and pull it back. Hopefully that'll hold it until it kind of sags down a little bit, then I'll staple it or nail it solid. Coming along. Well, even though it's pretty windy, it seems to be holding up okay. I got the bungees on it, a couple of grommets in there, and a bungee or two on each side, plus I've nailed it all the way around, and I think that'll hold until this tarp kind of sags out a little bit. And then I'll cut the door opening for it and pull her as tight as I can. And I also went ahead and put old copper top in the shed here, even though there's no roof on it. Hopefully I'll get those tarps and be able to get that up before any kind of snow comes in. But for now, that's where I've got it tucked away. I think I need about another 20 feet of garage here to do anything useful. So up to that bucket. If I had more of these hoops, I'd probably do that. Maybe in the future. Well, my tarps came in today. I got 3 large ones, 14 by 48. They're these black ones. They didn't have any white, so black it is. They're a little bit thinner than what I've got on the walls, but not too much, so they'll be fine, I think. And I got 2 12 by 24 tarps. I'm thinking I'll use one of these for the big door on the back side, and then I'll use 2 of the large tarps for the roof, and then I just have some extra tarps. I figured why not get them, they're always useful. So I'm not going to be able to actually put these up today because it's pretty darn windy, and I have to still put up some boards and the door here on the back side, so it's all sealed up before I can put the big ones on. But at least my tarps are here. I have them, so I can work on them here in the future. Well, it's a little bit calmer day today. There's some wind, but it's not nearly as bad as it was the other day. So hopefully I can get some tarps up. I've already gone ahead and I put boards around the outside of the steel there, so I have something to attach the tarp to. And I'm going to go ahead and start cutting strips of this cardboard to wrap around it to kind of protect the tarp from the sharp edges here. And once I've got that up, we'll see if I can get a tarp up, at least on this back wall, and maybe I'll start on the tarp for the top. Hopefully the wind stays relatively down here and it won't be too much of a fight. Alright, I got my cardboard tacked on all the way around the hoop there. It ain't pretty, but it should serve its purpose, which is to just protect the tarp from any sharp edges around the outside here. And of course the wind is picking up a little bit, but I think we can at least set this tarp, so I'll go ahead and grab it and bring it out here and see if we can't get it started. Well, I've got one of my smaller tarps laid out here, and apparently the Secret Life of Pets is going to be my door. But of course, as soon as I rolled it out, the wind picked up. And that'll make it fun to put up, but I'm going to go ahead and let this kind of lay out a little bit. Hopefully get some of these wrinkles out before I put it up. And then I'll turn it actually sideways and put it up, because this way is 12 feet and the other way is 24 feet. So if I do it sideways, I should have enough tarp going both ways. So yeah, let's see if we can get her up there, I guess. Well, it took some doing, but as you can see, I got my tarp up. It's kind of windy, so it was a little bit tricky, but I think I got it pretty tight. And I used the dog's face because it was the lightest part of the tarp, and I figured that hopefully will let in some light. I could have used the lettering, but that was kind of dark, so I got this one up, and I have well, I have a dog for my door. I'll call it the doggy door. Now that I've got that up, I've got the two big tarps laid out, and hopefully I can get those cut to size and glued together at least today. Still a bit windy right here to put it up, but maybe I'll try. I don't know, we'll have to see. And here are my two big tarps. Got them laid out here. Advertisement side up, I got a Slurpee tarp and a Jiffy Lube tarp, but I'm going to go ahead now. I've marked this one out at 36 feet, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut off the end of this at 36 feet, and then I'll mark that one out, cut off the end of it so I don't glue any more than I have to. And then I'm going to mark a foot along the back side of this seam here. I'm going to go ahead and hopefully be able to glue it today if it's not too windy. Probably do 8 feet at a time or something so it doesn't get out of hand, but hopefully this is going to work. Alright, I got the ends of my tarps cut off at 36 feet, and I've got it marked here a foot down from the edge on this tarp, so hopefully I can go ahead and glue that side, stick them together, and hopefully they'll be sealed pretty good. I've got this vinyl cement. It's supposed to work, so let's see if I can't brush it on there and make one big tarp out of two. Well, I've got my big seam glued together. It seems to be a pretty strong deal. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and make sure the other side of it's all glued together too. But before I do that, I'm going to take this end of it and curl it up like it was, so I can get a rope in there, and then for the end of it, I'll cinch it up kind of like a hoodie, and that'll hopefully hold both ends of the tarp kind of together and tight around the edges. So it'll be nailed along the side, but I'll use the rope to kind of cinch it down real nice in the front and the back. Hopefully that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get that done. And then I'll flip it over, glue it up, and it's kind of windy today, but maybe I'll get it up. Well, it definitely took some doing, but I got her up there. I had to start on this side here, and while the tarp was on the ground, tack it on those posts because I have the south wind coming in pretty good. And then I rolled it over the top and tacked the other side, and then closed my drawstring there. Sort of like a hoodie, so it seems to be working pretty good. I had to do it a few times working by myself. I would tack it down and then flip it over, and before I could get it secured, it would come apart. A couple of the nails would come out and the whole thing would fly away. But about the third time I finally got it, and I'm going to have to come back on this side and actually pull the nails that I had tacked in here back out, and I'm going to take a piece of 2x4 for now and just nail her in there, give it more surface area to hold, and then later I think I'll come back with some longer boards, string them across, and then nail the tarp to that so it'll hold even better. But it worked pretty good. It's not quite even. I got the back side here all the way almost to the ground. Wasn't my plan, I was just kind of guessing where it should be, saws off a little bit, but that's no big deal. It's up, and it ought to keep the rain and the snow pretty much out. There are a couple little holes, pinholes in the tarp, but I'm not too concerned about that. If I really wanted to, I could crawl up here with some pieces of vinyl and glue and patch right over the big ones, and it would work just fine. So the only thing I got left is put a zipper in my doggy door, or 2 zippers I should say. I'll have them one on each side so I can roll this whole thing up and drive stuff like this car out. And that's pretty much it. This thing's done other than that. So I'm happy it worked well. We'll see how it survives the winter.